Hey guys, this is Honorable98 and here is Kickback from Transformers Robots in Disguise at 2015. This guy was indirectly requested by Fine Little Fellow 174, previously known as Optional Red 10. And I said indirectly because I was planning on making this guy anyways, but he kind of reminded me that I should make this guy a bit sooner. So yeah, Kickback here is really fun to make, especially since he's not like a standard Transformer. Already it's a crazy designs, and Kickback is definitely one of the best in my opinion. And this is car mode right now, and it's definitely unique. He's unique in both modes because this is his vehicle mode, and he's a top fuel dragster, like this really long dragster. Is like, I think it's also, I don't think we had a Transformer like that turned into one of these before. I know we had like dragsters like Dragstrip and Mirage, but nothing like this. So this is pretty unique and cool. Spinning around, this was really fun to make. Of course, it rolls really well. One of the best rolling Transformers I've made ever. And this is really fun to make. Its main color scheme is a nice blend of olive green and light and lime green, which two colors are rarely used in. I unfortunately had to take the Insecticon apart. You can tell by these colors. So I took apart an Insecticon to make an Insecticon. Yeah, very nice in vehicle mode. I really want to use these giant tires, and I'm glad I got the chance with him. Spinning around, he's just this long body, thin, his cockpit here, and there's like a big engine here, this intake coming out. Yeah, this vehicle mode is it's pretty cool, but there's some bits that are a little like ugly, like in here. And in the back, you can see all these struts and stuff. If they came in like lime green or olive green, it would have been so much cleaner. In the side view, you can see these two hollow gaps here. I couldn't fix that up since roll mode does get a bit more compact, so these gaps disappear. And there's a tendency to do that. Spinning around. In the show, we don't see him in his vehicle mode very much. Like, you can see the back of it in some scenes. In one scene, you can see the front of it. So this is, based on the pictures, this isn't entirely accurate, because in the show this part is like lower down and his wheels are huge, and in the show his wheels do shrink down. If you see it, they kind of like slow down when he transforms. His wheels actually shrink, so I have to keep him small like this, but it still looks pretty well. I don't think people nitpick too much, and he doesn't really have a spoiler, so I didn't include that either. His back is pretty ugly. If you don't know this character, you probably don't know what he's gonna end up looking like, so yeah. And last but not least, the bottom, which is, yeah, you still can't really tell too much. It rolls very well. So now onto the transformation. Of course, unfortunately, Kickback does not have any sort of a toy from Hasbro or any physical form, so I had to make up most of this, which is pretty fun and interesting at the same time. And it's sad that most of the Decepticons in the show don't really get toys, since there are more new characters added than toys being made by Hasbro. So yeah. Start off, let's see. First you gotta peel down these parts, and then you have to take this entire section and fold it up. Rotate this around. These will become his front legs. Kickback does have 6 legs because he's like a bug. And then you can fold out here. These will become his hind legs. I really like how this forms. These two just connect in the middle and they just splay out. He kind of does a bit of a mass shifting since all these limbs just like come out of like nowhere. And then rotate this around and rotate this around. And this will become his bottom of his body. And you can move these big legs up and position them. I'll do that later actually. Now onto the top, you take these sections, pull them out on these struts up here. Yeah, this part looked ugly in vehicle mode. And pull them out. And of course there are these, you can shift these parts in on this ball joint piece. And it kind of keeps it together more. And then you have to take the section, fold it up and around. And it takes the engine block with it. And pull all this up and push his head through the hole here. And then you can take this section, rotate it around 180 degrees and lean it forward a bit. And you can pull this engine block out, and this entire section just kind of collapse onto here. and it should just kind of connects here, and he folds it back up, and he still has this little hunch here like he does in the show. And then last but not least, oh not last but not least, keep everything straight, these arm struts go up like here, and his hands, arms rotate. Same for the other side, fold this, rotate that, and kind of connect it to the wheels. Straighten everything out. He's almost done. And one finishing touch, this is probably my favorite part, and I like how this comes last. This engine hanging out here, it just folds right in and slots exactly there. Those are where his arm and head was previously, in this cavity. And here is Kickback in robot mode. I really like this robot mode. It's definitely one of my favorites from RID. It's just so unique, and I haven't seen any robot mode just like similar to this, or even close. Closest I could think of is Overload from Transformers. I'll say Robots in fact. I meant Revenge of the Fallen. But he had like 4 legs, 4 arms, and this claw, Bone Crusher claw coming out. But I think that robot mode just like a concept art. It wasn't seen in the movie. So yeah. Of course, he's like all the Decepticons in the show are just like based off animals, and Kickback is like a grasshopper or like a praying mantis. You could tell. Yeah, you see his hind legs, front legs, and his 2 arms. He has like 6 limbs total, and this is like his like abdomen part, like the grasshopper would have. And yeah. In case you haven't seen him, in the show, here's a little reference picture. I got it close, pretty close. He's only seen like 1 episode in season 1, but he plays a bigger role in season 2, which I'm glad he gets more screen time. But he doesn't get a toy still, which sucks. Really nice. I should get into close up on his head. There's 2 things I couldn't really do too well with him. That obviously, first of all, his arms are connected by struts on this wheel, but in the show they come exactly from the middle of his tires, which there's like no way I could actually do that. So I have to engineer some struts. I think it came out well, even though it looks a bit chunky. And yeah. Now let's get into some articulation. Start with the arms. You have to be careful on here. Nothing locks in place. You could rotate here, here, here. His legs are very posable. You could aim in and out. A series of ball joints. His waist does have a turn. You could turn him. But it's hard to keep all his legs on the ground at the same time. Not like... Then his back legs, you could move this up and down. Kind of like kicking motion. And settle him down on the ground. Yeah, and his legs are a bit thicker in the animation model than what I have here. That's because mine have to store in roll mode. Can't really shrink down. That should be it for the articulation. There's not much to say. Kickback, I don't know, he's an interesting character. Not my favorite for his personality. He's like kind of nervous and like is willing to work for any Decepticon. Well, unless they tie him to a tree, but that's besides the point. I just like the design really much. I even like how the engine block just forms back here, just sticks on his back. Took me a while to figure out how everything would turn out. And I like how it's shaping on his chest, which is the front windshield. His head, that's the best I could come up with. He has 2 red antennae that stick out. They're pretty long. The only closest thing I could find is 2 little horned pieces. So I put on the binocular. It makes him look like he has horns, but that's really the best I could do. Yeah, so here is Kickback next to some other RD Decepticons I made from Legos, of course. He's scaled appropriately, and why is my light flashing so weirdly? Okay. He's scaled appropriately. He's pretty big in the show because he has really long limbs and legs and whatever. So I think this is fine. Factory just looks weird because of my camera settings, if you didn't know. And yeah, this should be it for this video. I might be thinking of making more RD. Well, my next AJ16 Transformer is Hound, of course. And unfortunately, I might need some olive green from Kickback. I will make some more RD if you guys want. I was thinking definitely I think making Bisque, definitely. His Warrior class figure turned out amazing. Just revealed over at BotCon a few days ago. Also might be thinking making Clampdown and maybe Glow Strike if we get more clear images of her bug mode. This is maybe a Scorpionox also. I'll just throw that in. Yeah, this has been Arnold Villas 98, and I'll decide on my next Lego Transformer, and I'll see you guys soon.